Hello guys, and thank you for clicking on another one of my videos. This one in particular is 6th in the series since I started recording, 15s and above on my Holy Paladin. It's Mist 16 on Tyrannical week with explosives, so a bit of a spicy combination, to be honest. Especially together with raging. The raging prevents us from doing super big pulls. Explosives make some of the mist pulls be a little bit hard, to be honest, and also second and third boss can be very complicated with explosives on this key. So I know that usually mists is the easy key, but I'm actually glad that we timed this key very smoothly with this combination of affixes, because this is like as hard as it gets, in my opinion, in terms of mists, in regard with combination of the affixes we had. So here, like, it's not bad to Ashen Hollow here, but I'll say later why I didn't, and I'll say why I should have. And you saw me there getting hit, so I was forced to bubble again. Mistake on my part, but honestly it was pretty smooth. Like, by the way, for those that might be wondering, I'm playing here with a friend that a lot of my keys are timed with this fire mage Shady Dachi. It's a friend of mine, and also Guildy Arius. They're in a lot of these videos and a lot of keys that we managed to do. So I don't have a pre-made group that I'm running with ever, but these are some guys that I do like to run with. And here what happens is, I'm actually not sure. I think it was DK that pulled, or Mage. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened. They must have grabbed aggro with, I don't know, mirror images or pet or something. It happens. But anyway, we revived and we moved on. It's not the biggest of deals. Like, just keep going. Pretty straightforward. Yeah, and he says here mirror images. Yeah, so something to keep in mind if you're playing mage and for whatever reason you're watching this video from Holy Paladin perspective. Don't pay attention to what's happening with your mirror images, especially on skips like that. And here, like, I noticed now, I wasn't aware of this when I just played. Keep in mind, at the time when this was recorded, I was still really new to Holy Pala, like, still pretty fresh green boy. I didn't know what he's doing, and like the reason why I noticed that is, see, I'm not using blinding light at all, and this is a perfect pack to use blinding light on. It's so good here because you can actually do like quadruple interrupt if you're paying attention, and it just has a lot of value here. But I don't use it, and in retrospective, like, this could have been even smoother, even though if I remember correctly this key was pretty smooth either way. But we will see. About these guys, be very careful. There's a reason why one of them is marked with a skull. So those that don't know, like, these guys start doing, I think it's called thrashing or quaking or whatever it's called. It doesn't matter. It's an pulsating radiate, like, AoE that, to my knowledge, is undodgeable. It probably has a range, but you would probably have to run like 50-40 yards away to outrange it or something, maybe even more. So it's not it's not feasible. You have to tank it, and it's very scary. That's why it's important to push these one by one. And you saw there it got dicey, but I was smart. I was saving my aura mastery in case things go south. On Fortified Week, that is one of the points where it's a real good use of Aura Mastery there. It's perfect. It's like Aura Mastery was made for that. And here we see, so if you pay attention to timer, so I'm not using my Ashen Hollow for the Pride here. Why? Because I have DK, I have 2 druids, which both should have their defensives up, which they don't because they used them on the previous pack. But in theory they shouldn't have used it there, and we would have it. So I'm feeling pretty safe on, in terms of defense. So I decided to save my Ashen Hollow for the boss, since it's tyrannical. I want to help my team with damage, so I'll just wait for the phasing. But this brings me back to something I mentioned at the start of the dungeon. If you guys remember, like I said, I'll talk about why I didn't use Ashen Hollow and why I should have on one of those packs earlier in the dungeon. So if you pay attention, what time is it in this dungeon now? It's 5 minutes. So I could have used Ashen Hollow there and I would have it now when we push. It's not even now, it's in 30 seconds. So a bit of a waste. Once again, I was new and I wasn't sure how fast we'll do it. Like maybe, you know, maybe if Shady didn't die on that skip, maybe we would be even faster. So you know, I can't really tell, you know, if it was a waste or not. I just decided not to use it, even though I feel like in retrospective, now that I looked at this video, I feel like I should have, and I would have enough time. But anyway, here we burst and you know, you pop Ashen Hollow, you go up your wings. I'm pressing my buttons, nothing, you know, nothing extraordinary, just doing Venthyr Holy Paladins. You know, you slowly see me going from bottom DPS to, you know, 4 or 5k. I don't know how much it goes towards the end. And I'm being a little bit selfish here. I'm not dealing with explosives because, you know, I have my CDs running, so I'm, you know, just trying to deal as much damage as I can. And something I noticed here is it seems that we switch, but I could be wrong. I'm not 100% sure about this, but I feel like we could have finished the boss here. So if we just attacked the little guy instead of the big guy, we would have finished him off. Because you can see, like, he doesn't have a shield yet, and he won't have it for quite some time, and he lost 5% here, and most of us are attacking the big guys. So if you just do simple math, you can conclude that we could have finished off the small guy there. But it doesn't matter. Even so, you know, guys, I say this almost every key. Even so, in retrospective, when you're looking at these videos, there's so many mistakes that each of us individually do, and we make group decisions that are bad, and we still time these keys. So, you know, if you're having difficulties, if it's something, you know, just don't worry. You don't have to play perfect to do this. It's okay to just play fine. Just don't die. Look into what abilities they're doing. Do a lot of keys. Figure out which pulls on which weeks are problematic for you, and think about the solutions. And I guarantee that anybody can time all 15s, as long as you're ready to commit some time to it, you know. And you know, obviously, like, not everybody, but you know, everybody who really wants to, I guarantee. And if you can't, there's, like, once again, I'm not no expert by any means, but if there's something that you're not sure about as a healer, even as a DPS, but mostly as a healer, especially if it's related to Holy Paladin or Disc Priest, feel free to ask me. I'll be happy to answer any questions, either comment or DM me or whatever works for you. There's also other contacts on my YouTube profile. Just let me know and I'll be glad to help. Like, once again, like, none of these videos, I write this in every description of every video I upload. These are not guides, these are not tutorials. This is just gameplay footage. It's literally just I recorded myself playing the game. If this were guides, I would definitely do this differently, a lot differently. But in these particular cases, I don't feel ready yet to make any sort of guide, because I don't feel like I'm good enough to do that yet. There's still a lot of things that I want to test out and that I want to learn, and frankly I don't have enough time to commit to making guides at the moment. But if you guys, you know, if somebody really thinks that, you know, they want to see a guide from me specifically, let me know and I'll be happy to do it. But yeah, so here, you know, it's not fortified. This is pretty smooth. Like, you know, if you have a hunter, you can even do some double pull shenanigans and stuff like that, you know, through the fog. One thing I'm noticing here is I'm kind of being selfish. I'm not really revealing the maze, but I think we figured it out at this point. Usually as a healer, you want to be the one that's doing the maze, unless it's fortified and the pull seems to be like difficult for your group. If that is the case, then I would say it depends. Like if you want to min-max it, like you ideally want to, you know, not reveal or fall by yourself, but you know, have a range DPS reveal one while they're DPSing, and then you can reveal like one by tank and you reveal the other two. But usually the biggest DPS loss, sorry, the smallest DPS loss the group will have overall is if you as a healer do it, because usually we bring the lowest damage contribution. And this is a bit scary here, like this route is very scary on Holy Paladin. For example, when I'm on disc, and yeah, I actually die here, holy... I don't bubble and I just die. I think I underestimated it, because on disc priest I never have issues with this. Why? Because I just mass dispel. I mass dispel the root and it's fine. But on Holy Paladin we don't have mass dispel, so that is actually a very dangerous ability. And I would recommend, if you're a Holy Paladin, keep your Hodge for that. Make sure the root does not go off. Keep Hodge, keep Blinding Light. That is one ability that will kill you here, as you can see, even on non-fortified weeks. And it's also like even more dangerous because it can root you into these little knives that these guys are throwing, and in that case, spear flurry. Like if that happens, like you know, the person is just gonna die probably, unless they have like a strong defensive, or unless you, I don't know, lay on hands them or something, and you don't want to be wasting your CDs. Not unless you have to. So I mean, if you have to, then it's not really waste, but you know what I'm saying, like you don't want to be using them unless, you know, there's absolutely a necessity for it. Like I would rather save your CDs for things where it matters. Like obviously, like it's never bad to use a CD. If you save a life, it's worth it. But sometimes, if we're talking about pushing hierarchies and stuff like that, like using CDs to make up for a mistake is actually not good. Like you want to be using CDs planned. You don't want to be using CDs to save somebody who made a mistake or to save yourself from a mistake. It's suboptimal usage. And here we proceed, you know, everything is simple. Here I would say one thing you need to be worried about, even though like here we have Prideful buff, so it doesn't really matter. But one thing you have to be worried about is these little foxes, these mist whale stalkers. Let's see this, it's very scary. You see how much damage they do. And my mage, I don't know if he blocked or alter timed. Looking at his frames, I don't think he did. Those are good, for example, ice block if he had it. Debuff hurts, especially on fortified, and these foxes can one-shot on hierarchies, and we have a very good tool for that, Blessing of Protection. But this is why I said it's a good block, because, you know, fox will do it again. So if I bop him and then the next person dies, but mage, you know, we got lucky, it's mage, you have a block, so just block it, and if next person comes, then you can bop them. And this is also the reason, this what I talked about now is also the reason why I think if you're doing like a pre-made group and you guys are trying to push your keys, you guys are trying to get better as a team, you're communicating, you're, you know, you want to get better, this is why I think the best caller for defensive CDs is always gonna be healer. Like don't, like your DPS, ideally if you guys are on Discord and you feel experienced and you're a good player as a healer, I feel like you should be the one calling defensives, because you have the best overview of which defensives are available, and it's much easier to you to know, you know, when you can keep people alive or not. In raid this doesn't work. In raid obviously it's too much people for you to keep track of, so you don't track their personals most of the time. You know, like unless you have some super jacked unit frames with like a lot of extra add-ons and stuff like that. But I feel like in general that's pretty overwhelming on a serious fight, so you know, there you just have to trust your teammates that they know what they're doing. But here, like, don't get me wrong, you're not, you know, it's not that you don't trust your teammates if you're telling them when to use CDs. It's just that you know you have this and this to prevent something. So if you have this, then tell your guy, you know, don't use this, I got you. And if his CD is lower and you need your CD, then tell him use this, because we need it now, you know. That's why I like playing with mages on Discord. Like, I can tell them when to alter time, I can tell them when to block, and it really helps. And here you can see, this is what I talked about at the start of this key. So I think when we were on Discord, I don't really, yeah, I died to Fox here. That's pretty embarrassing. I think I get a Bella Res here. Yeah, I do. So the hard part about mists on Tyrannical plus explosive is, well, explosives. you saw at the moment there's always gonna be that nasty overlap where one person will get fixated by the fox. She will do the what do you call it, those images where you have to guess which one you need to kill. I forgot what the ability is called, I'm sorry guys. I'm really bad at remembering names of abilities, as you might have noticed if you watched some of my previous videos. I call things all the different things. You know, if you guys don't understand something or things like that, let me know. Yeah, guessing game, okay, I read it now. So you see this overlap, this is a nasty overlap. There's fox, there's a guessing game, there's explosives. It's a lot going on. I know this might sound like it's easy, like, oh, just kill explosives, but on Tyrannical you need to kill this fast. You need to finish guessing game as soon as possible, because as you can see, like, look at the damage. Look at how much damage we're taking, just passively, just nothing going on, and we're just taking damage. And you can see here, we die. We died. It's very scary. At this point, it's very scary. At this point, I'm not sure if we are wiping or not. And here I stun fox, I heal. Oh, I think I remember this. Okay, I'm not gonna spoil. Let's just see what happens. So, you know, we're dodging, killing explosives. Explosives are even scarier now because we're only 2. Luckily, DK gets a combat res on the druid. Druid is up. He convokes, helps out with damage. Roots the fox. I keep judgmenting, I keep healing, you know, I'm focused here. This was very scary. Don't underestimate this boss. Never underestimate second boss in Mists. I have died here so many times and mistimed keys so many times because people, for whatever reason, and I can't understand why, they underestimate this boss and they forget about the fox. They don't take the guessing game seriously, and we just end up wiping. This is not a joke. This boss is easy if you know exactly what you're doing. If you're not focused even for 1 second, you will die, because you will get one shot, you will get frozen, you will die to guessing game because you're not hitting the correct target. There's a lot of things that can kill you here. Just take this boss seriously. Don't underestimate it, like we did. And now comes the hard part, right? Now comes the hard part. We don't have a battle res, we're only 3, it's healer and one tank, 1 DPS. It's very scary. I'm trying to deal as much damage as I can, but I'm prioritizing keeping them alive, because at this point, because we didn't wipe, what we basically did is we hard committed to this attempt, because if we wanted to wipe, we should have wiped straight away. But now if we wipe, we waste a lot of time. So this is like, you know, if we wipe now, I think we wouldn't time this key. So we gotta do this. And here comes penalizing burst, here comes guessing game, there are explosives, and one explosive goes off there. Very scary, and we're taking AoE damage from the guessing game. Super scary. Luckily we made it out just barely. Get it? Because it's a druid. And he could have bear formed to prevent it. Never mind. But yeah, here we go. We're finishing this. You know, a druid and mage are, you know, watching from the floor, cheering for us. You know, it's very important to be supportive of your teammates. But yeah, this was really close. Like, there were so many instances where we were just an inch away from death, or centimeter away from that, but doesn't have the same ring for it. That's why I use an inch, even though I think metric system is better. Don't at me. And here, you know, he says, well played. That indeed was very well played considering the circumstances. And here we go into these slugs. You know, there's not much here going on, honestly. Like, you guys know what to do here. You need to interrupt this so they don't shield. Volatile acid will go off. Just move away. If you're multiple melees, just, you know, just move away from each other. Spread out. It's not that hard. I hodge here. I have no idea why I hodged there. It was kind of a waste. I should have saved it for the next poll, but it's whatever, you know. I'm just trying to help. I'm not sure at this point whether they have interrupts or not, and I just, you know, I just want to play it safe. And here we go on the right side because we need extra percentage. This pull also pretty simple, even though this is 4 slugs, and Like, our team actually has a pretty big problem with interrupts, if you think about it. Like, we have two beams. Oh god, I actually end up dying here. Okay, that was a big misplay by me. I don't know, I probably didn't see AoE or something. But that was really embarrassing. We actually die both there. That's big yikes. And here Druid starts running into me, and then that was pretty annoying. And that in turn makes the guy that I'm trying to kill out of range. So like, sequence of unlucky events there. I mean, can you really call it unlucky? It's more like, you know, not being aware of what's going on. I guess people panicked a little bit or whatever. It's fine, it happens. We just kept going. We're good. We have time. We do a big pull here. We sort of melt it. That was actually really fast. I don't know why. Did Druid... Yeah, Druid convoked there. I'm not sure if we had combust as well, but yeah, the pack died really fast, so that saved us a lot of time. That pack can sometimes be spicy. And then onto these two annoying little pests. These guys are so annoying, dude. Luckily, as Paladin, you can dispel dot. I would advise not dispelling dot instantly. I would, on non-fortified weeks especially, leave one. Leave one, because if you get lucky, the guy will get stinged again. And you can get 2 for 1 value, like I did there. I had 2 dots and I dispelled them both with 1 dispel. It's a lot of extra value. Obviously it all depends. And here I didn't notice that my hammer was on CD, so I popped Ashen Hollow for Pride. Big mistake. I should not have done this. I had Holy Avenger. I should have played this Pride with Holy Avenger. And then probably Ashen Hollow on the next pack and then on the boss. No, I actually didn't have enough time. So maybe this was actually the right play then. No, I did have enough time. If I did it like in 1 minute, I would have one more exactly for the boss. So yeah, misplay. It doesn't matter. We keep going. You know, I wanted us to be safe at this point. I don't want to think about, you know, whether we'll die to Pride or not. But with AMZ and with Holy Avenger and with Mage using his defensives together with Druids. And Druids, I don't know what Druid did there. He fell off or something. No idea. You can see like so many mistakes this key, and still timed. Pretty, you know, reassuring, you know. I like seeing this because it really means that it's not that hard to push as people make it to be. Like, don't get me wrong, it's not like, you know, it's not easy either, but it's definitely doable. For me, like, this is only the second key I've pushed past 15, so I'm really happy, you know, that I'm doing well, I'm trying to improve, I'm learning, going good. So we do a chain pull here because we know we're a little bit low on time. Tank goes in. The scariest part about these pulls is explosives, because it's a big pull. There's going to be a lot of explosives, and here we have to deal with Pride, and then with a pretty difficult boss, and explosive goes off there. That's on me. That one should have been done by me, and this one as well. So yeah, Pride and boss. This boss is very difficult on Tyrannical combined with explosives. It can be very annoying. For a lot of reasons. You will see. It's sometimes hard to see explosives. They can be spawned on a lot of weird places. It's just a lot going on. This boss can get very messy. I know the boss looks easy and stupid, but it's actually pretty difficult. And here I'm probably thinking, you know, whether I should hammer or not. I end up hammering because, you know, I won't be used. I just want to put it on CD ASAP so I can use it later for the together with you know, with Ashen Hollow, because otherwise they'll be desynced, and that's the most annoying thing. Like, if they desync, you have to lose one usage of one or the other. And that really sucks. It's just super annoying, because if you use them desynced, then they'll keep being desynced, and it's not good. And here I'm holy lighting for some reason. I have no idea what I'm doing here. This is very bad by me. Just so you guys know, like, I think we're still fine. It's just really fucking bad. And I end up Leon Hansing myself instead of bubbling. One more misplay. I said this on the Prideful video, I'll say it again. If there's a situation where more people are in danger, like immediate danger, you shield, divine shield, and then you lay on hands somebody else. Because that way you save 2 people, because you can't, you know, you can't divine shield somebody else, you can only divine shield yourself, and lay on hands is usable on everybody, so you really wanna, you know, you gotta think about these things. This is, once again, you know, don't mind me, I'm an experienced Holy Paladin, still learning, so I'll forgive myself this mistake, but it's a mistake that I keep repeating. You guys will see, I have a very nice video coming up in a few days, where I timed a much higher key than this, and I'm not gonna spoil which one it is, but you will see, I make a similar mistake, and I'll talk about that as well, why I made the decision I made, and why it's not good, and why the other choice was better, and stuff like that. This is, you know, this is why I even decided to do commentary. I just want you guys to, you know, I said, not guide, not tutorial, but I just want you guys to know my thought process behind my actions here. And who knows, maybe somebody learns something, maybe, you know, somebody will appreciate these videos and find them entertaining. And here, like, the only advantage of me using Lion Cans there is I saved bubble, but I don't know if I even end up using it here. And here, like, you know, I'm doing Ashen Hollow. This was very scary. This boss is sort of hard to move as well. Oh, I'm super late to move here. I should have moved way earlier. Like, guys, a little tip, both for me and for people that are watching this, like, watch your DBM timers. Even on, like, I know it's usually in the raid. Here was a good opportunity to bubble, for example. So I stay in Ashen Hollow. Like, watch your timers. Timers are, you know, DBM is not just, you know, for raid, and don't just trust your weak auras. Watch timers, watch DBM or big wigs or whatever you're using. You know, be aware, be ahead of the situation. Don't be like, oh, Mind Link, now I run. No. When Mind Link is coming, you should already be turned and, like, your finger ready to click that horse. Just be aware, you know, be aware, and you'll become a much better player if you have awareness of when things are going. And see, even despite all the mistakes, 2 minute extra time and nice cozy mists, everything went pretty well. And I get a changeling as well. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to let me know what you think, and if you have any suggestions, I'll be happy to hear about it. Bye, have a good day.